So guys, absolute treat and a pleasure today for you all. We are out on the beautiful, and I mean beautiful, River Trent. You see that? Hoveringham, I believe. Just beautiful, look at that. Gorgeous stretch. And we're here looking at some new bits and pieces. But Lee has just started catching some lovely fish. So I thought it'd be an ideal opportunity to have a little chat with him, because something we haven't done, certainly on my channel. How are we doing, Lee?
How are we doing, Joe? Are we alright?
Tremendous.
What a cracking, beautiful day, hey?
Great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sun's even come out for us,
Yeah,
look.
sun's come out for us. It's been... Tell you what, I just love the wildness of it. So we've been fishing, we've caught some lovely roach and dace. It's not been brilliant. I'm not going to sit here and say it's been like one a bung, because it hasn't. It's just started getting a bit better in the last sort of hour or so.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've been catching steady, but it's been...
Whoa, look at that.
It's been nice. And then we've just had a nice bream on a float.
Totally out of the blue, I must add.
Yeah, completely randomly. So we've had a nice bream. And then we've actually hooked. One was another bream, I'm sure, and it was foul hooked, unfortunately, and it came off. And then I've just been broken.
You've had one that just tried to get 100 yards downstream.
Yeah, I had 09 on and it just went, see you later. So that could have even been a barber or something like that. And I think for me, that's what makes this place so exciting, because, you know, you're fishing somewhere where you just, I mean, look at that down there.
Oh, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Just take a minute to enjoy that downstream, because I just feel like...
Doesn't get better than this, does it really?
It doesn't. And you don't know what is going to pull your float under next. That's what I love about fishing on this place, or places like this, because on the Trent there is so many
species,
different species.
Well, what did you have at the weekend? A chub £5 what?
Yeah, I had a chub £5.10 at the weekend
in a match, which is a huge fish for a specimen angle, let alone a match angler.
Perch £3.5 the next day. So you just don't know what you're going to catch in amongst your fish, and that's what I'm really enjoying about it. So I've actually put a slightly bigger, put a 16 N20 on.
Yeah.
To it's a stronger line.
Oh.
No, it's just a drag under that was, Joe. A little bit of weed.
So I mean, obviously we'll talk about your tactics when you next ship back.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's something like I don't do a lot of for sure, but I'm sure river anglers are very fond, obviously, the old flat floats. But I think people obviously associate flat float fishing with like nailing a bait still on a bump bar, or, you know, big pieces of worm and that. And what you're doing here is very different, isn't it? So I think we should just have a little look at that.
Ease through the peg, see what's there. You know, I've got several different rigs set up today. You know, I've got everything from like a gram, and this is a 2 gram little flat float, and it's just nice. Just thought I'd have a go with it. You know, it's giving me a chance. I mean, obviously, like I said, we've had a bream, you know, and it also seems to be going through nice and catching us lots of other fish as well. So, well,
obviously, like the bream and that are a bonus, aren't they? But really, we were sort of here to catch roach and dace, to be fair.
We're here to catch roach and dace, and that's what we've been enjoying. Smashed up maggot.
So let's just quickly hook your rig up and let's have a little look at what you've got on here.
All right.
If that's all right.
Of course it is. Yeah, yeah. So I've got
flat float,
little flat float, just a 2 grammer, black 8 elastic.
Yeah, original slip.
And this is like 016 AccuPower mainline.
So just as a point for people who fish flat floats before, what sort of size flat float would you say you'd be able to nail bottom here today?
5 gram to hold.
5 to hold still.
Yeah,
maybe even a bit more.
Yeah, it's shallow. 5 gram. Yeah,
it's a decent pace, isn't it? It's like going through.
It's a decent pace. If you had some depth, you'd need a lot more. But because it's not so deep, I'd say 5 gram, maybe 6 gram to hold completely still. So obviously 2 gram. That by that theory, I'm sort of half pace.
So have you got much line on the bottom, or?
Not really. No, I've got like probably 3 or 4 inches. The trouble is with it here, Joe, is that just like this bank behind us, there's rocks and that everywhere.
Yeah.
So in my head, I don't really want tons of line on the bottom because it's going to get hooked behind rocks. So I'm just sort of like bimbling it over the rocks, if you like. You know, that's my plan. And then I just have just a bulk and 3 droppers. I've got nothing fancy.
Yeah.
And
you've got one of the new pre-ties.
8 inches of hook.
Oh,
Let me just check that this isn't the pregnant wife. If it's not, they're not getting answered. Oh, Wayne's Finscote. We'll leave him for now.
Yeah.
When I'll ring you back, pal.
He'll be wanting to know what you're bagging up on.
Yeah, he will, yeah.
So you've got one of the, what have you got on there? Like one of the new...
Yeah. So effectively what I've just put on is a 6-inch pre-tied. Here are these.
N20.
I've just put a 16 N20 011 on.
Yep.
That's the one I've just got out. And before I got my bream on an 18 010.
Yeah.
So I was, sorry, 09. 18 to 09.
Pre-tied barbed hooks.
Oh yeah, pre-tied barbed hook. 6 inches, just like for all my fishing. It's
just amazing, isn't it?
Dead easy, isn't it? You know, it's nothing too extravagant, and the sun's out now, and this is what you want, isn't it? This is what you want in life. Not being funny.
So when you're fishing this flat float then,
yeah,
obviously you've balled it in today, and let me just get behind you.
Yeah.
So just so everyone can see, obviously Lee's facing ever so slightly downstream, and then he's balled it in. You might be able to just see his float, but he's balled it in quite far down. Oh, it's gone. Look at that. Yes, he's balled it in quite far down because it's only shallow, and then he's obviously putting his rigging up here and then running onto his bait. Is that? Are you topping up in the same place, Lee?
Yeah, just now and then, Joe. I'll pop the ball in exactly the same place, and then I'm just flicking a little bit of hemp over the top, and sometimes a few maggots if I feel like it. But basically, if I ship my pole out, I throw my ground bait in here.
So your ground bait's down there, yeah.
Yeah, and then that allows me to sit sort of almost with the rig straight in front of myself.
Let it fish.
Yeah, get it down, let it fish, and then put my float through like that, which is how I like to fish. Which means I'm in control when it gets to my bait, like that. Ooh, Joe, I thought that was going to be on. So,
but that just shows the versatility of them flat floats, doesn't it? Because that is going through just beautifully, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's
nice.
Yeah, those little dice come up the peg, you see. Those little dice.
Yeah, got it here.
Got it here.
Where's he gone? There you go.
I thought for a minute, Joe, that he was a water plane. I thought he was going to land halfway down the stream.
Let's be that.
Yeah, so sometimes these little days come in. You might catch a few of those.
So you lose feeding downstream as well?
Yeah, just loose feeding.
Yeah.
Might catch on a bit of hemp later on. I've got a lighter float set up for hemp. It just seems when you're fishing with hemp, you need a...
I think, a lot of people probably look at a river fast like that, a bit of a fast river like this and think you've got to feed well upstream, but it's just not the case, is it?
Not at all, no. You just want to flick your bait in. I try to flick my bait in where my ground bait goes in, Joe.
Yeah.
And every now and again I'll do this. I'll put my rig in
a bit further down.
So literally that's where my ground bait's gone in now, and I'll just have a run to see if where it's been breaking down and being nice, because if I can actually caught the big fish have come from there as well. You just don't know. It's about working the water that's in front of you. It's not about just sitting there and plodding. I mean, it probably looks to people like it's hard work because I'm in and out all the time, but we've been to 3 or 4 venues abroad now where we're running 30-40 gram floats, and it's so much faster than this, and it makes you appreciate how to work your peg as much as you possibly can, because sometimes they're going to be there, and sometimes they're going to be up in front of you, and wherever they are at a given moment, you just got to sort of try and catch them.
Try and suss it out.
Yeah, that's it. That's what the game's all about, isn't it? So
of course you've been fishing the Trent loads this summer, haven't you? And
yeah,
just addictive, isn't it?
It is, because of what's happened today. Because it started off, it's not so great, and then all of a sudden it's good, and we're catching some big roach, and we're catching some dace, and it's like really enjoying it. Yeah, really enjoying it. And then you catch a bream, and it's like, the first trip of the year I went on, we went on a flooded river. and caught like six or seven bream a piece, and they were massive.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what is happening here? And we caught them really close, Joe. You just don't know. You don't know. It's a wild, big river, and you do not know what you're going to catch at any one time. So every time a float goes under, you don't know if it's going to be a little dace like that. You know, some great big roach, a perch, a chub. You know, when I was playing the bream, I said to you, I ain't got a clue what it is.
No. Well, you nailed the colours to the mast and said chub, didn't you?
I did. I thought it was a chub. I thought if I had to pick a species, I was going to say chub. And it's a flipping 3.5 pound bream. Thanks for coming.
Very welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So obviously another thing that people probably will notice, you're not fishing too far out. I mean, you're not even on your 13-metre joint there, are you?
No,
Just got
no. The
little dolly.
River's got loads of pace.
So there's no need to go too far.
No need to go too far out. You're just making hard work for yourself if you do. I also feel that, you know, like in years gone by on these sort of pegs, they just fish a thick float, not even as far out as I'm fishing. You know, because there's so much flow up my feet. It's totally different if you get onto your peg and there's no flow.
It's an interesting bit, this, isn't it? Because you look across the river and like the pace is like even all the way across, isn't it? It's like,
yeah, I think it's because it's come round a bend and now it's trying to straighten out before it goes on round the opposite bend up there, if you look.
yeah, you got like a channel, I suppose.
You get sort of like a channel of even flow, really. That's horrible.
Yeah, off down there. Looks like it narrows up a bit down there, actually.
Yeah, probably some barbel.
Ooh, be nice, wouldn't it? Does look barbely here, doesn't it? Shallow, rocky.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't know. Nearly barbel all over the river. It's just, you never know. I mean, we've hooked a big fish, haven't we? And that could have quite easily been the barbel. You're not getting out on 09. I'm sorry to say.
No matter how good those hooks are, you're not getting out on 09 here.
Yeah, you're not getting out on 09. It's not happening. But
Just have a quick butchers at that while you. So we've got, for those that see, we've got the Magstore system, which obviously makes hook lengths a doddle. A dream, I'm saying, Lee, a dream.
yeah, dream.
But now we've got the barbed versions. I'm just going to try this one-handed. Yes, done. And we've got N10s and N20s. So the N10 is like a, see that there? One's on the right hand side of an N10, which is like a round bend, longish shank, just a nice all round sort of pole pattern. Then the N20, lovely wide gauge pattern for your bigger baits. And if you like that kind of hook, tied on 06, tied in 6-inch lengths to AccuPower, various diameters. So really nice hook lengths. Just the job and complete that range nicely.
Oh, they're beautiful. You know, I mean, the thing is, Joe, we haven't all got loads of time. Tie loads of hooks, and what I tend to do, this is, because people say to me, surely you don't just use the pre-tied hooks, because obviously they think that I'm competing in, you know, when you're competing you might want to tie your own, and I get that, right? So what I do, it's quite simple, is I bring with me pre-tied hooks because they cover a lot of options. And then I tie a selection of my own. Like
a specialist.
Yeah, like to be a little bit more specific. So I might have another hook box with, say, a few N30s in, or, you know, if, like, for example, I want a 20 to 010 rather than 08. But what it is giving me an option to do is have some really good quality tied hooks on, ready to go. So
like a base almost.
It just cuts down so much effort, Joe. You know, and if I want to go out and enjoy a day's fishing,
you can.
I can, rather than having to think to myself, oh, you know, I'll tie some hooks up if I want to go fishing. I can literally just start fishing, and that's beautiful. Look at that sun on the float.
Oh God, it's unbelievable.
Water, that is literally
heaven.
Yeah.
If it goes under now, we're a breamer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch you catch one more fish.
Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah, I'm going to mention we're at Caythorpe today.
Yeah.
And Wayne Swinscoe's put us onto this little length here.
I'll tell you what.
Gave us permission to come and have a fish here today. And
if
you're thinking about going somewhere to have a fish,
this is the place, isn't it?
This is the place.
So just so you can see, let me just spin this round.
You know, there's a road behind so many of the pegs up
so
at the top.
Just there where that house is, that's where we parked. And along there's even pegs where you can see the cows up there. You can actually fish up there behind the...
Yeah, so dropping the gear off behind the peg and then putting it in a little car park.
So I've got a new sort of gizmo here, chaps, and I'm just getting to grips with it.
Getting used to it, are you?
Yeah, I just had a lovely shot of the sky then.
Did you?
Yeah, I was trying to get the river, but I got the sky.
Hold on, mate.
Thanks. Know what they say? Say
Gone
peanuts.
Quiet, Joe. There's a chance of digging.
You reckon? You reckon?
Well, you never know, do you?
Well, I'm sticking by me one more fish.
Oh yeah, one more fish.
So obviously, I'll put this on next week, but you've got the Riverfest this weekend. Final.
Yeah.
Excited?
Yeah, I'll tell you now, with everything that's happened this year and restrictions on what's gone off and everything else, and you know, I'm really looking forward to it because I've enjoyed competing on the river. I think it's a fantastic competition. I think it's brilliant for them to put it on the Trent, middle of the country, the most popular river in the country, no doubt, because it's so long and varied, and I just think it's a cracking choice. I know the weather is going to have ruined it, but unfortunately that is what it is. But for river fishing and for people who are keen on river fishing, I think that they couldn't have done any better. So,
Right. So really,
I cannot wait to get on it. There we go.
There we go. One to end on. Not the bream, but there you go.
Nice fish.
Nice fish to end on.
So.
The black eight pouring out the poultry.
Yeah, thumping into a nice fish. There you go.
Oh, River Trent roach, look.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
In the sunshine, Joe.
Have a look at him. Let's have a look at him.
There he is. Look at
that.
that.
Beautiful. So good luck at the Riverfest, Lee.
Cheers, Joe.
We'll see you everyone